and welcome to Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. And this is the match reaction for Everton's 0-0 draw at Crystal Palace. I know there'll be a lot of people that it's another 2 points dropped, I guess, and obviously results elsewhere means that we do drop into the bottom three as it stands, which obviously no, obviously not good, of course, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of positives to be taken from that performance. We're up against a side that, a few weeks ago it would have been a proper relegation 6 pointer, but they've pretty much pulled themselves back away from danger since appointing Roy Hodgson. 3 wins on the bounce going into this game, so it was always going to be a difficult one at Selhurst Park, of course, as well. We all know how bad we are away, and Crystal Palace always have a really good home atmosphere, so we were always going to be up against it. On that from that side of things, but and I mean it was a poor start to the game. It's got to be said. I think for the first half hour, similarly to when we played Fulham last weekend, we just didn't really get going, and it just kind of seemed a matter of time until they scored. Really, we just couldn't get hold of the ball, and we're just backs against the wall for pretty much the whole first half hour. But after that, I thought we just started to build a bit more confidence. Really, and I don't know if we got under their skins a little bit, and their confidence seemed to deflate while ours just seemed to increase kind of naturally like that. But we started to play a bit better, definitely, and obviously we had a very good chance with a volley that I think he just kind of catches everyone a bit off guard, really, and it's a very good save actually from Sam Johnston. And then going into the second half, it was a bit edgy after the break, but then we started to play better again, and started to just kind of take the game to Palace a bit more. We had a couple more chances. Cavaloons obviously stands out in particular. Really good turn, and he just really fought for a second. The finish just wide, and maybe with a bit more sharpness and just getting back to the speed of games. Oh, even if it had just been on his preferred right foot, that might have been a different story. We might have been talking about a win here. But obviously sadly not, and that was pretty much about as good as it got for us. Obviously, Holgate's red card, which I'm a bit unhappy with, to be honest. I mean, obviously, we could sit here and talk all day about how Holgate, undoubtedly had a pretty poor game and struggled to deal with Jordan Ayew down the left, but I didn't think the first yellow card should have been given in the first place. I thought that was very harsh, and yes, that foul was a yellow, but at the same time, Palace weren't getting those yellows for fouls like that, whereas we were. And Jordan Ayew himself, who of course the foul was on, shouldn't have been on the pitch at that point. I can't believe how little was made about this on the coverage I was watching. But get to booking in the first half, and then in the second, there's that incident with Tarkowski where he goes down like a sack of shit. Let's be honest. And nothing. Referee lets the game go on, even though the guy's holding his head. So that should have been stopped in the first place anyway, just in case Tarkowski had whacked him. Obviously, he hadn't. There was absolutely nothing in it. He just ran into the guy and fell over, trying to get a cheap penalty. But that's surely simulation. And you'd like to think that if he wasn't on a yellow, he would have been given a booking for that anyway. So why has he not been given a second yellow? I don't think he should have been on the pitch. And just nothing was made of that fact whatsoever on the coverage I was watching, which was frustrating. Obviously, it doesn't excuse Holgate's tackle. It's a silly tackle. I guess he kind of does have to make it. Palace are on the break, and it probably is a yellow at the end of the day. I just don't think. I thought the first yellow was pretty harsh, and so that just should have been, a first yellow, and left at that. I mean, there's also an argument to be made that maybe he should have been brought off. He was, as we say, he was having a poor game anyway. And maybe someone like Godfrey obviously came on. Once Holgate had been sent off to kind of plug that gap, maybe he should have been brought on just to keep it safe and get a player who's on a booking off the pitch, who's and let's say he has been having a torrid time. But in the end, we managed to hold on. I thought it was a much better performance than we've seen in the last few weeks. And a draw's not an absolutely terrible result. It just means it just places even more importance on the fixtures we've got left. And of course, Newcastle coming up next. Thursday night at home against the Newcastle side under the Goodison lights. Sounds quite familiar to me. Last season was undoubtedly one of my favourite ever games when we played against Newcastle. My favourite game ever of watching this club. Although we get in that last minute winner after Allen had been given that ridiculous red card. Um, and yeah, they did a massive amount for our survival bid that season. And let's hope for similar this week. Obviously, Decore will be back for that game. I'm a little worried about Idrissa Gueye based on him going down a couple of times in that second half today. A little worried there might be fitness concerns of him. But Decore coming back from his suspension will be a massive boost, and hopefully Gueye has remained fit. Hopefully, maybe Onana, obviously again missing out for injury for the last two matches now. Maybe he'll be back to full fitness, we'll see. And obviously, Calvert-Lewin had a very solid performance on his return today. He was given 90 minutes, which suggests to me that Dyche is pretty confident he's ready for match action. And so he managed to keep himself fit by the looks of things. So hopefully he can lead the line for the rest of the season. And that could end up making a difference for us. Obviously, it's still very much up in the air at the moment. And as I say, results this weekend mean that we are back into the bottom three. So there is still a very tough fight ahead. But that pretty much just sums us up for that for this match reaction. I'm just about to do the player ratings video, so going through each individual Everton player a bit more in detail than I have here. So please stay tuned on the Toffee Blues channel if you would like to watch that. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Comment below giving your thoughts on this result. Do you think we should have won? Do you think we were maybe a bit lucky to get away with a draw? What other decisions would you have made? Leave your thoughts in the comment below and subscribe to the Toffee Blues channel for more Everton content. And we will see you in the next video. Cheers.